Hello, I'm Gigi. Welcome to my Galactic Kitchen, the place where I bring you plant-based recipes from this world and beyond. Today, we're going to switch things up a bit. Rather than show you one recipe, I'm going to recommend 3 recipes that can be made from pantry and non-perishable foods only. This comes in pretty handy when you're stuck inside for a while, say for a snowstorm or possibly a global pandemic. Speaking of global pandemics, majority of us are going through one right now. So what a better time to learn recipes that are made from all of your pantry items that you just bought at the store. The first recipe I'm going to recommend is from this cookbook by Food52. The recipe is for lentil sloppy joes. I'm going to put a link in the description where you can find the book and the recipe online. So the few non-perishable foods that are in this recipe are onion, garlic, and red pepper. For the onion, you could easily replace that with either leeks or some chives, and for the garlic, you could even use a pinch of ginger if you have some of that. For the red pepper, if you have either cabbage or carrot, it's a good texture, and if you don't have any of those things, just add a pinch of red pepper flakes. Space Kitty's going to be helping me out today by beaming down images of food so you can see what they look like. Space Kitty, it's time for the lentil sloppy joes. Next up, a quinoa recipe. Quinoa is often mistaken for a grain when actually it's a seed. And if you didn't know, quinoa contains all 9 essential amino acids that the body needs to build protein. So much power for such a tiny little seed. This recipe has been one of my go-tos for many years now. The recipe is for quinoa black bean burgers. See the link in the description for the recipe, and you'll notice the recipe might not be 100% plant-based, but I promise you, all you need to do is replace the egg with flax egg and your burgers will turn out perfect every time. I've done it, it works. For your pantry-only replacements, refer back to the first recipe for the onion and garlic. The only other fresh ingredient in this recipe is cilantro, which can easily be replaced with dried cilantro or coriander. Fun fact, if you didn't know, coriander is actually dried stalks and leaves from the cilantro plant. Who knew? Space Kitty, we're ready for the quinoa black bean burgers. No, I said black bean burgers, not black hole. The last recipe on our pandemic pantry list is by one of my favorite recipe makers in the universe, the Minimalist Baker. Okay, now I know not all of her recipes are 100% plant-based anymore, but she still has a lot of great plant-based ones that are 100% gluten-free. The recipe I'm recommending in this book is for masala chickpea curry with brown rice. Unfortunately, the recipe isn't available on their website, but I'll put a link in the description where you can get the cookbook. Like many plant-based dishes, this one calls for onion and garlic, so refer back to my first recipe for those replacements. This recipe also has fresh ginger, but that can easily be replaced with ground ginger, no problem, or even add a pinch of allspice. Many curry dishes I've made include diced tomatoes. This one calls for carrots, but whenever I make it, I always replace it with diced tomatoes, and it turns out great. Space Kitty, last one, the masala chickpea curry with brown rice. Also remember to practice your yoga. Space Kitty's really been put to work today. I hate to ask her for one more thing, but I'm kind of running out. Space Kitty, you got any TP up there? Space Kitty has been such a help today. I'm so thankful to have her. And while many of you might not have a Space Kitty, there are so many of us humans out there who are just as good as helpers. You aren't alone, my earthling friends. And even in quarantine, you and your diet don't have to suffer. We just have to be a little bit more creative and adaptable. So stay safe and we'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Check out more of my videos for more plant-based recipes.